This is gonna be my regular Saturday night.
Old regular Saturday night thing. It's gotta be perfect. Alright. So this is the Gemini New Moon. It's interesting that it's happening in the last decan. So the new moon in Taurus we just had kicked off a full moon in Sagittarius, and then this new moon in Gemini is going to kick off a full moon in Capricorn. These are transformative full moons energetically. And the new moons are in the last decan. In particular, this Gemini new moon is Uranian, and the last Taurus new moon was Saturnian. Saturn, Father Time, form, established systems, established ways of being, traditions. Uranus, the Sky Father, the water bearer, essentially. You know, the water bearer is pouring the water that's infused with the lights of the sky, of the heavens. So through your emotions, new intellect arises. Can also mean that you start to understand your emotions more. The eternal wound that we all carry, the memory of all memory, essentially. Not just wounds, but there is a specific underpinning of Uranus and the wound. And if you think of Prometheus, the knowledge that you hold, it wounds you a lot of times. That's why a lot of people don't like knowledge. We have Juno here too. That would be a new phase conjunction with Juno. An out of sign trine with the south node, out of sign sextile with the north node, and technically Jupiter as well. So it's almost like there's a marriage here between the emotions, the subconscious, and the conscious. The emotions and the intellect. And there's a sextile here with Venus and Mercury. Mercury just coming out of the working transformation with Saturn at this point. So shedding the old to embrace the sense of love that you feel for yourself and bring out to the world. So it's wounded child stuff with all this energy here in Leo. Mars coming into a balsamic phase conjunction with Black Moon Lilith, the repression of the anima. That's what's rising in all of us right now. It's one of the main contributors to the revolutionary energies that people feel within themselves, is trying to bring to balance the repressed elements of themselves. In doing so in the most highest expression through the Pallas Athena energies, the power of perception. Now Ceres here in Virgo squaring this new moon. Ceres in opposition to Neptune. Gifts of spirit being realized and well, you could say tested, but assessed, cultivated, given an opportunity to be received and given. We also have this nice trine between Chiron and all this here. Perfect trine with Black Moon Lilith, so healing the anima. Those elements of you that you kept hidden because they caused issues with other people in your expression. We're starting to get more comfortable with that. And I know I am. Ever since the Sun in Uranus met in Taurus, I felt different. And then as soon as Mars hit Leo, that kind of finally started to bring some energy, some fire back for all of us, I feel. And at this point we have Pluto retrograde back into Capricorn, bringing us back into polarity with the ancestors, the forms that have been created to keep the blood flowing, societies running, cultures alive. And now it's an out of sign square here with the nodes. It's going to be a perfect T-square once the nodes dip into Aries and Libra. So that's definitely tension to form. You know, life is always happening, and it's the distinction between reaction and response that sets the tone for the way things go. New Moon in Gemini here. It's giving us energy information. It's reframing how we've calibrated our instruments, our systems, our structures in society. Because this is a working, or actually this is the transformation right here with Pluto. As the sun and the moon traverse into a perfect quincunx with Pluto, there will be realizations. You may be working through them through your communication. New ideas may be coming to you. New information will come to you. And it will catalyze transformation in society, how we interface with our systems, our hierarchies. And that's how, if you want to look at things in a linear projection, evolutionary, so to speak, that's how we adapt and evolve. I prefer cycles. Evolution has a shelf life. It goes from A to Z. Then it starts over. Because we just forget anyway. And we've got this little grand Earth trine with Vesta, Ceres, and Pluto. So the hearth fire, the passion, what you're passionate about, what feeds your sense of value in the cultivation of your life, yourself, how you express that, how you receive from others. And how that is in relation to the world at large. We got the sextile with Saturn, Jupiter in the North Node, still in effect. And Saturn's trining the South Node. So it can be an easy release or a worked release to let go of old scorpionic ways. And it can be a stretch, it can be a work to integrate those Taurian themes which might be coming in for us. Either epiphanies within ourselves, sensations that we've repressed. Maybe we learned new language for old meanings. Neptune here is also interfacing with Vesta and soon to be Uranus. And we've had that Uranus-Saturn square for quite a while, the past year and a half, 2 years now. And so Neptune in the decan, the modern decan that's ruled by Pluto, transformation, will be interfacing with Uranus in the Saturnian degrees of Taurus. And Uranus is the sky father. It's the father of Kronos. Kronos is Saturn. Saturn, the father of Zeus. Kronos, the father of Zeus. Saturn, the father of Jupiter, I suppose. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on, always. We get so busy with our lives and with everything going on within ourselves that we can't really appreciate systems and patterns and cycles and things like that because we're living it. It's kind of like when you work hard and then you get a few days off, or the work dies down. Then you decompress. And you realize how much you worked, what you accomplished, or how you lost your shit during all that chaos. I mean, we oscillate in these things, you know. So what do you do with this kind of stuff? Let's look at this real quick. Right, let's pull up another chart. Let's look at the full moon real quick. It's going to be perfect with yeah, I gotta fight the OCD. Alright, we're just gonna go with this chart. Alright, so we're gonna put the new moon in the middle, full moon on the outer. Alright. So the moon carries information whenever the moon goes around the cycle once a month. Touches every point, makes aspects. Sometimes it doesn't make any aspects, it's a void of course moon. Those are days when you can just settle into monotony. Give your senses a break a little bit if you are aware, or you feel a need. Otherwise, just do what feels right to you. But the moon will be making these quincunxes. I love the quincunx in conjunctions. That's where the magic is, actually. That's where all the stuff happens. It's trigger points. So there's trigger points that are activated through the moon's movements. This is why you can track many things using the moon, not just growing cycles and monthly cycles, but statistics, at least within society. So as the moon makes these transformative quincunxes to the Leo stuff, and then touches Pluto, understandings from this full moon are going to be more consciously made more aware, or more consciously aware. You'll be made more aware of it. So that can be epiphanies, it can be in your little circle, or it can be societally. By this point, Mercury will have conjuncted the moon or the sun a few days earlier, maybe 2 days earlier, 3 days. So it'll be about 8 degrees Cancer. And then the moon, in about a week or so, 2 weeks, will catch up to Mercury. And the emotions will be settled in through whatever it is you are being made consciously aware of, through experiences in the world and in your relations. It is a deepening of the river when you're made aware of your emotional ways. Everyone I've ever met that's intelligence has deep emotions. There's wounds way down deep and it causes you to stir. And we all have those, but some of us, we express them through our work or some physical activity, or it becomes repressed and we end up living the quiet life of desperation, and then we go postal, or who knows, there's many outlets. In any case, in life, no matter what language you learn, if you learn astrology or psychology or numerology, or you study religious texts, the power is within you. The awareness is within you. As you learn, you release. But everything we learn external to us must be balanced within. If your language for the self has been defined by systems or words on books, and not through experience because you've repressed it or you can't accept it, then it forever holds you back from being who you truly are, your authentic expression, who you're meant to grow into. Life is a cultivation. Doesn't always feel that way, but just think about it, You're taught all these different things from 0 to 7. And then the teachers become a little bit different. We get more autonomy as far as what we want to allow to teach us and what we don't. And what we don't allow, we just put down in the shadows. And then it informs us through our subconscious, through the things we do, the relationships we're in, how we hold ourselves and others down because we can't face our own fire. And because of that, if you can't face your own, you can't bear to see another do it. And this is why for you, if you step into your authenticity and you stand in your power, you allow other people to. You don't have to do it by waving a flag or getting in someone's face or telling them they're wrong. You just have to stand for what's right for yourself. Societies are testing us. The puppet masters are prodding us. They want us all single file, Prussian-based thinking, systemized. It's a war against consciousness, and it always has been, because that's a power over game. Well, always has been, at least the past 2,000 years. And how does that happen? Most likely cataclysm. When all hell breaks loose in the world, it brings the worst out of people. unless they know who they are, then it brings the best out of them. And so those little traumas grow with time, and we create systems and we create cultures based off of fear and based off of these traumatic experiences, just like we do in our own lives. But there's a higher mind being born. It's through the understanding of your emotions. We tend to disconnect emotions from intellect, but really the emotions are what informs the intellect, not the other way around. But when you try and systemize and categorize and label all the emotions and all these other things, you divorce the spirit from the meaning. It can't be explained that way. And so in systems and structures and societies and things like that, that kind of language has no application towards the bottom line, unless it's within some scientific health system. Which is ironic, because in order for the health system to exist, it needs patience. In the old days, if you wanted to learn medicine, you would study with a master. Now you go to a school. It's systemized. There aren't many doctors that actually care about their patients. They care about protocols. They care about the mortgage. They care about all these other things, because they're people. They're going through their own stuff too. So getting back to the self, getting back to the roots, North Node and Taurus still here. What is true value? What is the bottom line value in life? If you don't have that, nothing else matters. No one can give that to you. You have to cultivate it within yourself. You have to label it yourself. You have to identify it for who you are. Otherwise, someone else will identify who you are and give you a label. South Node, Scorpio. So we can make the world better, and we do, and we are, by being who we are. And that's what we can learn in these times, whether you're reading the Bible, or reading the stars, or reading fortune cookies. However you get the insights, that's how you should. Alright, well, let's get back to this. He's not going to the top rope, is he? Is he going to do a moonsault? Or someone's going to push him off. Elizabeth's going to run in and save. I guess this was before that time. You need Dusty Rhodes in here to settle the score. Can't control Kamala. Someone gave him too much Kool-Aid. He's unsettled. I think he's going to beat up his manager. hope George is okay. I don't know if the green tongue can take that kind of abuse. And Kamala has 2 managers? One for the mind, one for the spirit. Jumping around with a pillowcase around his waist.